Okay, so recursive formulas are, there is a rule in which one or more previous terms are used to generate the next term. The most famous recursive sequence is the Fibonacci sequence. Okay, so first of all, recursive formula is a rule in which one or more previous terms are used to generate the next term. Basically, the next term relies on the first term before it, for instance, the two before it. Okay, so the Fibonacci sequence actually uses the first two numbers to generate the whole sequence. Okay, so here's the Fibonacci sequence. 0, 1. Maybe you've seen this before. We're going to add these two together. 0 plus 1 is 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. 1 plus 2 is 3. 2 plus 3 is 5. 3 plus 5 is 8. 8 plus 5 is 13. 8 plus 13 is 21. 21 plus 13 is 34. On and on. So the next term is determined by the first two added together. That's the Fibonacci sequence. Okay, and this occurs all the time in nature. So in this sequence, a sub 1 is 0, a sub 2 is 1. Then for each subsequent term, so we have our a sub n, whatever term we're trying to find, is the two previous terms added together. So if we want to define a sub n, we need to add together a sub n minus 1, which is the term before it, plus a sub n minus 2, which is the term before it twice. So for an example, this looks like a lot of complicated jargon and notation, but it's really not. Say I wanted to find the fourth term, 1, 2, 3, 4. I need to figure out, so 4 would be my n minus 1 would be 3. I would take the third term and the second term and add those together. So third term and second term, these two, add them together to get the fourth term. That's all that's saying. Okay, so now we're going to get into some examples. We're going to do all the odds in the video, and then in the class we'll do all the evens just like we normally do. Okay, so we're just going to apply the formula. So here's our formula they give us. We want to find the first 5 terms of each sequence. So they give us the first term, so 14. We only have to find 4 more. This is telling us that if I want to find the second term, I need to take the first term and add 9 to it. So 14 plus 9 is 23. Okay? Now if I want to find the third term, I take the second term and add 9 to it. So 23 plus 9 is 32. Okay, so there's a pattern here. 32 plus 9 is 41. And 41 plus 9 is 50. Look at that. We found the first 5 terms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Easy peasy. Okay, so now we're going to go on to the next page and do some more examples. Okay, so in number 3, again, they give us a formula. We're going to figure out the first 5 terms of the sequence. Okay, so our first term is 354. We're going to take this, add 6 to it, and then divide it by 3. So 354 plus 6 is 360. 360 divided by 3, well, 36 divided by 3 is 12, so just tack a 0 onto that, so that's 120. Okay? So now we're going to use this number in this sequence. So 120 plus 6 is 126. Divide that by 3. Well, 3 goes into 6 twice. 3 goes into 12 4 times, so our answer is 42. Look at that, no calculator needed. Okay? Now we're using this guy. 42 plus 6 is 48. 48 divided by 3 is 16. Okay? And then finally, 16 plus 6 is 22. 22 divided by 3 is not a whole number, so we're just going to leave it as 22 divided by 3. Okay? Look, first 5 terms in the sequence. Okay, so not too bad. So now in number 5 and 6, we're just going to do number 5 in the video. We're going to write a rule for each sequence and give the next 3 terms. So here's what we're going to do. I want you to draw a little star. We're going to write make a table. This is going to help you to see patterns, okay? So I want you to follow really closely with me on this one because it might get a little complicated if you don't follow. So we're going to make a table over here. Or say our term. They give us 5 terms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then we want each actual term. So these are like the term numbers. Then we want the term themselves. So we have 4, 11, 32, 95, 284. Okay? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to look at the differences between these numbers. So 4 goes to 11, that's plus 7. 32 minus 11, that's plus 21. 95 minus 32, I've already done this, so that's why I know all these numbers, is plus 63. And then from 95 to 284, that's a plus 189. So maybe you notice something interesting about these differences. 7, 21, 63, 189. These are not going to have common differences between them, but there is a common ratio in between them. 21 divided by 7 is 3, so that's times 3. 21 times 3 is 63. And then maybe you know this or maybe you don't. 63 times 3 is 189. Okay? So each of these is being multiplied by 3. That's going to help us figure out the term. Okay? So 3 times 4 should give, so when we do this, we're going to multiply each term by 3. So we want a sub n, and I'll go through this in class just in case you're still like, huh? 3 times a sub n minus 1, because we're multiplying the term before it, okay, by 3. So we want to get from 4 to 11, okay? 3 times 4 is 12. How can I get from 12 to 11? I subtract 1, right? Okay, let's try it with another one just to make sure it works. 3 times 11 is 33. I want to get to 32. How do I get from 33 to 32? Subtract 1. Oh, so that still works. Okay, 3 times 32, that's 96. I want to get from 96 to 95. I subtract 1 again. So a lot of this is trial and error, figuring out are there common differences, is there a common ratio, stuff like that. So that's why we have 3 times the previous term, and then we also subtract 1. So find the next 3 terms. So now you're going to need a calculator, so hang on one second. Okay, so we have our calculator. So now to find the next 3 terms, we're going to take our 5th term, 284, and plug it in here to get our 6th term. So we're going to go 3 times 284. Let me zoom out so you can see what I'm doing. 3 times 284, and then I'm going to subtract 1 from it. So our 6th term is 851. We're going to use this one to find our 7th term. So 3 times 851 minus 1, 2552. And then we're going to use this one to find our last term that we're looking for. So 3 times 2552 minus 1, 7655. So these are the things that they were looking for in this problem. Okay, and I'll go through this one in class again if you need me to, and then we'll do this one together to make sure we really understand what's happening here.